want you to ask yourself this question. What's holding you back from where you want to be in every aspect of your life? What's holding you back? Not just physically, what's holding you back? Like your job, time, money. Not just that, because there's always going to be something that's holding you back on the physical level. There's always going to be an excuse. But I want you to ask a deeper question. What's holding you back inside of you? What are you holding on to? What are you not letting go that's affecting you to get to where you want to be and to be the person that you want to be in every aspect of your life? It could be a fear. It could be a fear of failure. It could be the fear of success. It could be the fear of losing your identity that you've made up for yourself. I think this is probably one of the biggest fears that people have, is losing their identity. And I also believe that this should be the one thing that you work towards losing, is your identity. You shouldn't have an identity that you are stuck to. Because if you have an identity that you're stuck to and you're afraid to lose, then you'll always be afraid of change. And you'll never improve if you're afraid of change. So I want you to ask that question. What is actually holding me back from being the person that I want to be? To be the person that uses their full potential. And most likely, you'll come to the conclusion that you're afraid of change. And you're afraid of the unknown. And I realized that a lot of people are afraid of change and afraid of the unknown. And the reason for this is because of their identity, what they identify with, and how they see themselves, essentially. So if you can break the image of yourself in your mind, if you can get rid of it and let it go, what's left? Well, it's the raw you. That's what's left when you let go of your identity and who you think you are. It's not who you are. It's just who you think you are. Your mind tells you that you are this type of person. And you identify with it, and that's what keeps you stuck in the same daily life. That's what keeps you away from changing. That's what keeps you stuck in fear. Because in the end, it's always just fear of losing your identity. Nothing else. So once you give up trying to protect your identity, you'll have a lot easier time jumping into something that you want to do. Self-improvement. You'll be able to self-improve without having the mind telling you that you're never going to make it or you're never going to get to where you want to be. You'll never be okay until you have this. You'll never be at peace until you achieve this. You'll be able to self-improve without the mind holding you back, and you'll be able to work at your full potential in every aspect of your life. So I want you to ask that question. What's holding you back from being who you want to be, truly? And what's left when you let go of your identity, of what you think you are? What's left? Well, it's the raw truth. The only thing that is left is your pure desires. What you really want. That's what's left. I speak from experience when I say these things. And I just wanted to explain why I'm so passionate about this. Because I realized that my entire life I was looking for an identity. That's really hard to say. An identity. I was looking for an identity. And by constantly looking for an identity. God damn, that's hard to say. By constantly looking for who you are, you end up actually losing yourself. And when you always think you need an identity, I got it that time, you're never okay with who you are. In reality, you're never okay with who you are. Because you're always looking for something to be, something to do, and you're always looking for something better because you believe that salvation exists in that better thing. Whoa. So when you have this mindset of trying to fit in to something and trying to pick up an identity, when you have this mindset, you're being held back. Your potential is not being used to its fullest. So I suggest that you let go of that identity. Start looking into it. Start becoming aware of the things that you are attached to. What are you afraid to lose? What can you not let go in your life that you think is part of you? Take a good look at those things and start becoming aware of the attachment to them. And then by doing this, by becoming aware of your attachment to things or people or events, circumstances, anything in your life, anything you're attached to, when you become aware of it, you break that attachment and you're free from it. And when you're free from these attachments, a whole new path opens up for you. New doors open when you let go of the door you think you're supposed to go through, or that you're telling yourself you have to go through, or someone else is making you pick a certain path or an identity. So become aware of your identity and what you're attached to, because it's only really holding you back from what you really want. And it's holding you back from fulfillment in life. It's holding you back from enjoying every freaking moment. So learn to disidentify from what your mind is telling you and try to find what is real. Try to find what is real in your life. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do care about other people's transformation, because I want to share what I see in the world, the way I see the world. I want to share that, and I want to help people achieve the way that I see the world. I'm not saying that the way I see the world is the right way, but I'm saying that I used to see the world in a bad way, in a way that was not beneficial. I used to see the world in a way that was holding me back and keeping me in the same spot, the same suffering. And I want to show people how to use suffering to their advantage, because suffering is really your greatest teacher. I can't come close to teaching you what suffering can teach you. Because what suffering does is it makes you surrender. And until you surrender to suffering, you keep suffering. That's the reality of it. And I want to show people this simple strategy of just surrendering to suffering. Because if you don't, you're stuck. You're stuck in what used to be. You're living in the past when you don't surrender to suffering. It's very simple. Suffering is your biggest teacher. It allows you to transform. And until you stop resisting, you're going to keep suffering. And life is going to work against you. But once you realize that suffering is here to help you wake up, you pretty much got it. Fear and anxiety and depression, those are all forms of suffering. But everyone is running from them. Everyone is saying, why am I this way? Why am I angry? Why am I scared? Because that's the game that life plays. Everyone has to deal with it. Everyone gets their chance to suffer. And the only way out is to surrender. Stop running from it. Be okay with it. And that's how you really transform on a deeper level. That's how you use suffering to your advantage. And that's why suffering's here, is to teach us. Once you grasp it, you can see it clearly and you can feel it. So try it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned anything, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and you can go check out my website. On the website, you'll find my blog and the free meditation guide, which I really like. It has all my favorite meditations. It has 3 of them, the 3 most powerful ones that I've come across and used. So you can go check that out. In the description, there's also the Enjoy Being program, which is now out. And in that program, you learn things like this. You learn how to surrender and you learn how to disidentify. And there's a lot more. You learn how to set your goals and be put on the right path while staying present. So that's all I have to say for today's video. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, it's in the description too. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.